3-year-old grandson started stammering about a year and a half ago. It seems to be reducing of late. Please, what can I do now? Albert from Tema.
Albert, it sounds to me like you shouldn't worry much. From 2, 3 children stammer, you can think about it like this, that they think faster than they can talk. Because at that age, they are still working on their verbal and communication skills. They are basically still learning to speak. So at that age, you could think about it like they are thinking faster than they can talk. So they tend to stammer or stutter, depending on, they are the same thing. So stuttering is common in the 2 to 3-year-old group. And this kind of stuttering tends to go away on its own. But there are some interventions that you can do in the family to help the child. You know, it's not the fault of the child. So the first thing is not to be seen as, or not to blame the child, because it's just the development. She's learning, or he's learning to talk, and they have so much in their minds they want to say, but it's difficult because they are now learning to talk. Okay. So then they tend to stutter or to stammer. So in addition to not blaming the child, as a family, you can learn to all take your time when you are speaking for the child's sake. And then sometimes when the child stutters, well, you can ignore it if it's just a minor something. But then you can say something like, oh, wow, that came out a little bumpy. Could you say it again? Something like that. But be careful not to blame the child, because first, it's not his fault. He really has no control over it. It's just that he's learning to speak. It tends to go away. If it happens at this age, it tends to go away. But those are some of the things. If you add on extra stresses to it, like, why are you stuttering? Then they tend to do it more. Yeah.
All right. There's another speech-related question. We'll take that one about the child. So he says the child is 3 years old, doesn't speak, as children of his age group. He can only say mama and daddy. And Kwame is sending us this. He's saying that he needs help. His boy is 3 years.
Yes, I really think that Kwame, the help is needed. A 3-year-old should be saying more things than mommy and daddy. So this child should be seen in hospital. Depending, it can just be an isolated speech and language problem, or it can be a whole thing, and then speech and language is just part of it. So this child should be seen in hospital, because you need a lot more things. You need a history, what happened during the pregnancy, what happened during delivery, when did the baby start attaining all the milestones before you come to saying simple sentences, about 2-word sentences that the child should be saying by now. So yes, Kwame needs help. And a lot of these things, when the intervention is early, the outcome is very good. But when we delay, then it becomes more difficult.